Question number 9. The dotted line is a diagonal of this rhombus. So there we've got the rhombus where angle A and angle B. This dotted line is diagonal. And the first question is, if angle A is 80, what is angle B? Well, the first thing to do is put an 80 where angle A is. Always write any angles that you know onto the diagram. The next thing is to think about the fact that this is a rhombus. Well, a rhombus has 4 equal sides, and we would show that by marking each side with a dashed line like this. But we are also told that this is a diagonal. Now, if you take a diagonal on the rhombus, you are basically splitting the rhombus in half. And what we will actually have is 2 triangles. But each of these triangles will both be isosceles. So this is an isosceles triangle. We know that because these 2 sides we've already said are the same. The third side isn't the same because you can see that is going to be shorter. So it's an isosceles triangle. So in our working out, we can put that it's an isosceles triangle. And we know that in an isosceles triangle, 2 sides are the same, but also 2 angles are the same. So it's the 2 angles on the same side of the 2 equal sides. And it's these 2 equal sides, so these 2 angles must be the same. So angle B is actually also the same as this angle at the bottom. So if we consider the fact that angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and we subtract 80 degrees, we will get 100 degrees. So 100 degrees must be the total of these 2 angles together. But because these 2 angles are equal, all we need to do is half 100 degrees. So 100 degrees divided by 2 equals 50 degrees. And that is the answer to our question, 50 degrees. So angle B is 50 degrees, and this angle is also 50 degrees. It's always a good idea with any angles question to check that it makes sense. Well, we know it's an isosceles triangle, so we know that 2 sides must be the same. So we're saying that both of these are 50. Does the whole triangle add up to 180? Well, 50 and 50 is 100, plus 80 is 180. So that's our way of checking. 50 plus 50 plus 80 equals 180. Therefore, it is correct. It's got to be 50 degrees. Now let's scroll down and look at the question at the bottom. This time it says if angle B is 80 degrees, what is angle A? Well, we're now being told that B isn't 50, B is 80. So what we've got to do is treat this as a completely different question, and we've got to start again with B being 80. So this time let's make B 80. So write the 80 on where B is. We're still, of course, dealing with an isosceles triangle. That hasn't changed. So this side is the same as this side. Now, if it's isosceles and B is 80, this angle down here must also be 80. We've already concluded that these 2 angles must be the same. So, in our working out, we can say that 2 angles equal 80 degrees each because it is isosceles. Once we know that those 2 angles are 80 each, all we need to do is work out how much extra angle A needs to be to get it up to 180 degrees, because the total must equal 180 degrees. So, all we need to do then is do 80 plus 80 degrees, which equals 160 degrees. How much does angle A need to be to get it up to 180 degrees? Well, 160 degrees plus 20 degrees is going to equal our 180 degrees. Therefore, the answer is 20 degrees. And that's what we need to put in here, 20 degrees. Just to perform a quick check, let's write 20 degrees on there because that's what we're saying it is. So 80 plus 20, let's see what it is. 80 degrees plus 80 degrees plus 20 degrees. Well, 80 plus 80 is 160. And 160 plus 20 is 180 degrees, which is what we need the triangle to make. Therefore, 20 degrees is correct.